Okay, today we get to start chapter 4, which will be about a lot of graphs, linear equations, specifically y equals mx plus b. So today we're going to work on graphing. The last thing we kind of saw was where we had y equals kx, and I alluded to the idea that we're going to see y equals mx plus b. So m is going to be slope, b is going to be the y-intercept, so where it crosses the y-axis. Crosses y-axis, or where it intercepts the y-axis. Okay, the slope, remember, is going to be delta y over delta x, which, if you don't remember, is y minus y on top here, over x minus x. So today we are going to get to actually write some equations. But they're going to give you the slope and the y-intercept. So there's not really any specific math you have to do other than know that y equals mx plus b. If slope is negative 1/2, that is m, so negative 1/2, x plus the y-intercept at 3, so that's plus 3. That's the equation. Now graph it. So the first thing I'm going to identify is the fact that the vertical axis is the y-axis, and it intercepts it at 3. So 1, 2, 3, put a point right there. Then my slope is negative 1/2. This is the exact same as what we just did, where it's rise over run, and the negative only goes to either the top or the bottom. The only difference between today and what we did in chapter 3, 4, whatever, where we got to graph that, the only difference is that we're not always going to start at 0, 0. Sometimes we get to start somewhere else. So I started here at 0, 0, I started here up at the 3. If my slope is negative 1/2, I go down 1, over 2, down 1, over 2. Go backwards, it would be up 1, left 2, up 1, left 2. Then connect the dots like in first grade. Done. Okay? Now sometimes we might have to rewrite it so that it is in y equals mx plus b form. So when I look at example 2, I see that it is clearly not in y equals mx plus b form. I need to move the x so that it's on the other side. And since it is a positive 3x being added to the negative 4y, I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides, which is going to give me a negative 4y equaling negative 3x plus 12. Okay, negative 3x and 12 are not like terms, so you can't combine them. Also, I put the negative 3x first because I know I'm aiming for y equals mx plus b, and the x is first. If you'd put 12 minus 3x, you're not wrong. It's just not how you're going to want to view your answer. Okay, I still have a negative 4 connected to the y, so let's divide that away. And yes, you're going to divide everything on the right, and one way you can do that is by writing it like this. But instead of making it one giant division, I want you to individualize everything like that. So now I have y equals negative divided by negative makes a positive, and just leave that as a fraction. And 12 divided by negative 4 is a negative 3. Now I can graph that. I kind of have a story. Sometimes if I forget how to graph, I have a little story that can help me remember. If I had to choose between 3/4 and negative 3 as the number that I would describe as lonely because it doesn't have any friends, I would choose the negative 3, right? Because it doesn't have an x to be its friend. So I always go to the lonely number first. And since he's lonely, he's probably sad, so I'm going to raise his spirits. That helps me remember that I'm going to be on the vertical axis. So I'm going to raise his spirits, whatever number this is. Okay, so it's not a perfect story because I'm actually going to go down 3. That's not really raising his spirits. But that helps me remember I'm on the vertical axis. Then I can go do my slope, which is up 3 over 4. Down 3 over 4. And now I can draw a nice, happy, straight line. Well, I think that's the best one I've done so far. Looks great. Now, there are going to be a couple weird examples. For example, sometimes it might just give me y equals a number. In this case, sometimes it's almost easier to go ahead and make a table. You only have to do maybe 3 values. Any values you want. So 2, 3, 4. It doesn't really matter. Here's the thing. If I plug in 2 to the equation, there is no x value. Y equals 5. No matter what you plug in, y equals 5. 5, 5, 5. I plotted a wrong point, but there it is. What you're looking at is a flat horizontal line. If it's y equals, that means it is a flat horizontal line at that y value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, flat horizontal line right there on y equals 5. So if x equals -2, go to the x-axis to -2, 1, 2, and draw a vertical line there. Because again, no matter what's happening with the y, x is always going to equal 2. No matter what. So vertical and horizontal lines there. Okay, if you have a graph, can you write the equation? First, find the y-intercept. For this part, we're pretty much always going to give you nice y-intercepts to work with. So here's a nice y-intercept. That would be y-intercept of -1. That means b equals -1. I need to find my slope. It looks like it's going to go up 2 over 1. If I simplify that, that is just a nice happy 2. That's my slope. So I can write the equation y equals mx plus b. In this case, that should be y equals m is 2, x plus -1. Can I just say -1? That's the same thing, right? Like so.